So it looks like one of the trees next to the house was damaged during a storm in the fall. You can tell because the leaves are still on some of the branches. It looks like about half of the canopy is gone now. The main thing that I came to do was to finish the other half of the roof that I didn't manage to do last summer, but the tree needs to be dealt with. It's not safe to leave it as is. And I think this tree is maybe a little more complicated than the previous one. One of the walls of the entry room is collapsing as well. Thankfully, it's not structurally tied into the two-story part of the house. It's just kind of resting against the wall of the main building. Yeah, so this is more stuff. I'm not going to be here long enough to handle all of these things, but I'm going to make my best effort to handle as much as I can while I'm here. First, I need to head inside and get set up and have some coffee, and then get to work. I was gonna do some climbing today, but the wind has picked up. It was quite still earlier in the morning, so I think I'll wait for another day or two for the wind to calm down later in the week. For now, I'm just gonna clear some of the branches that have fallen down. Come back to it in a few days. neighbors dropped off a few things earlier today. Looks like this is some fig jam. This is eggplant under olive oil, preserved melanzane sott'olio. And then there's prosciutto, salt cured pork, and some eggs, some fresh eggs. Not that long ago was the period in which pigs are slaughtered and processed, so I guess this is from that time. But yeah, it's really nice. They're really nice people. I've known them a long time. I'll put this stuff away. This is a piece of the original plaster from this wall. As I mentioned previously, lime plaster is applied in 3 coats. The first 2 coats are made from the same mix as you'd use for pointing. All of the coats are just lime and sand in different proportions, but there are of course many different kinds of lime. It's evident to me that the original plaster here, is very, very different from the NHL mortar that we used last summer. For one thing, the compressive strength is much lower. It's much weaker, I mean. But you can just crush it in your fingers. I mean, it breaks very easily, you know? Not easily, but with your fingers you can just break it down into dust. But the NHL 3.5 pointing mortar that we've used here is not like that at all. I'm trying to kind of study this to figure out what the original mix ratios were. So I've just taken some of the top coat and put it into white vinegar to let it dissolve. Since lime is alkaline, it'll react with vinegar and dissolve. And if there's any aggregate in there, any sand, I'll see it. I kind of suspect that the top coat is either pure lime or close to it. It varies in thickness from about 1 to 3 millimeters, I think. Yeah, so if that's pure lime, I'd be very interested to see whether that's the case and try to figure out how to achieve that finish. I think I have some ideas already, but something I'd like to understand better. Some kind of... It looks like boars have been through here. I think they're trying to get these wild, what looks like a wild onion. It's quite a large bulb actually, about the size of my thumb. Some of the husks here are quite large. They must be able to smell them. I can smell wild garlic when I walk through the field right now. I wonder if these are edible. Yeah. I haven't seen them myself quite yet. Yeah, probably a good thing actually. as I'm sitting here thinking about how to move forward, in light of the voids in these two branches and some like clear wounds from old branches being lost down below the main crotch of this trunk, I'm thinking probably I have to remove this tree. So the question is, what's the best way to do it? So I'm pruning away a few branches in the tree right now because I'm planning on falling this, and I just worry that some of these branches may contact neighboring trees early in the fall, so it might damage the hinge. It might, cause the tree to come off the hinge too early. Ow! Shit. Ah, shucks. Dang it. Well, yeah, I lost 2 tiles from that. And that corner got brushed, and I just really didn't want to have that thing be touched at all because of how delicate it is right now. Oh, wow. Every time I do this, it's like a ritual now. Oh. Okay. This is a difficult situation because... Oh, hello. Let's see. My idea is that since this is hung up on that, I'm going to cut this off, this stub, attach a winch to this, and pull. I'm going to pull it off. That way there's less risk to the hinge. I think that'll do. So, first thing I will do is get this junk out of my face. Okay. Handbrake on. Now, I wonder if that's even good enough, since it seems pretty wedged on both sides. That's pinching very tightly. I can see it's pinching so tightly that this broke. Okay, so at this point, I've cut off the stub that this branch is hanging on. I think what I'm going to do is get out of the tree. I'll go get the mast stem and rope, bring the rope up, tie it off here, set the mast stem up down there on one of those trees, and try to pull this thing off. I'm not sure it'll work, but I think it's the best approach right now. The thing is that I could possibly cut this apart from up here, but for one thing that would take a long time, and also every cut that I make on this hung up branch is going to cause it to move depending on how the weight distribution changes. So it's just, between the two options, it seems like the mast stem is the safer of the two to try first, at least anyway. If it doesn't work, then I'll reevaluate. So I'll go get the rope and see if I can manage to have enough energy to get back in the tree after. Now I think if I go around this dude, and I pull this way, right? Got our locking carabiner, and then go like this around there, and then time to throw it where I can retrieve it on the other side. Okay, good. Not gonna go back down and set up the winch. This out of the way. Okay. Okay. Let's see what's next. What is next? If I get enough weight off of this, maybe then I can pull this. I don't know. Let's see. Pinch the bar. Figure this out. Here. I didn't bring my handsaw thinking I wouldn't use it. Go get that. There. I should have known. It's not gonna come without help. So I'll need my handsaw. Okay, I didn't film it, but I got my saw free with the handsaw. Now I just need to decide what to do next. If I take off too much weight below, this is quite heavy and may, you know, fall backwards. Windy. Ooh. So hollow. What is this thing doing crack-wise? Okay, there. It's ripped to shreds. rot, I think. I think this is called white rot. See? Or something like it. Okay. Okay. Ok. Tutto bene da te? Ok.
Meno male che se ne è capito, vediamo se si lega là.
Ok.
Che non si è tirata assai.
Grazie.
Ma figura. L'ho detto sempre, mi dispiace che capita sempre che siamo sempre da fama.
Ok, grazie.
Vado a vedere se posso fare una volta.
Ok, ciao. One of the hardest parts of doing this work is that since each tile is a little different from the others, it can be kind of hard to find pairings that fit nicely. So as I was taking the tile off the roof, I did that sorting and stacked them into piles of size 11, which is, you know, the length of one column on the roof. That way when I go to lay them, I don't have to go searching for tiles that match nicely. I can just lay them quickly. Now that just means that I did all of that work beforehand as I was taking the tiles off the roof. This part of the building I'd like to use as storage so that we can empty out the other side and then do proper work over there first. I don't know what we'll use this for eventually. Maybe bathroom and kitchen. Because if we could install like a skylight or something that would let us get the humidity out, you know, instead of having it accumulate in the two-story part of the building where there isn't that much ventilation. So anyway, yeah, some of these tiles are just nice, really nice looking. Yeah, let me show you some. These ones look really nice. They have these interesting like indentations along the ridge here. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if these have some sort of function or if it's just purely decorative, but they look really nice. If I had more of these, I might like to put them along the whole edge of the roof, or perhaps along the ridge as well. But they look really nice. I wonder if there was some maybe purpose to this. I only have 5 like this. Here, let me show you a little closer up. You see? Let's see. See that? Here. Very interesting, huh? Anyway, that just looks really nice to me. So yeah, I expect this roof will go on very quickly. I need to repair some of there's some rotten boards over here I might need to repair. So yeah,